Hello, Darshan Maharaja here. A couple of things came to my notice this morning, so I thought I'll share my views on those with you. This relating to international students, but also, we need to enlarge our vision here and talk about the entire non-permanent resident category, of which international student is one part. Uh, the first data that came to my notice was posted by Stephen Murans, who does a great job of digging up data related to things like international students, refugees, etc., via access to information. And he posted that showing in March of 2024, the number of study permits processed for Indian nationals had basically dropped off a cliff compared to March of previous year, 2023. The drop was 84%, from somewhere north of 26,000 to just around 4,000. So that is looks like a good trend or good development at least. On the other hand, I also saw data posted on Twitter showing that the population of uh, temporary residents, non-permanent residents in Canada, increased by 132,000 in the first quarter of 2024. So that seems to be some kind of a mixed signals being received at our end. However, we need to remember that the study permits processed earlier, or the temporary residency permits processed earlier than the first quarter of 2024. Some of those people would have arrived in Canada in the first quarter of 2024. So there is a bit of an overlap here. However, this brings up an important point for discussion, which was mentioned by one of my friends on Twitter. She asked me if this only means the drop in study permits from India only means that people would be opting for other routes to come to Canada. And again, this morning I saw uh, couple of things on Twitter or Instagram on social media, and they seem to corroborate this hypothesis, which is that the first one I saw was a video of a consultant in India. The video is in Punjabi, and fortunately, I understand spoken Punjabi. I can even read it. I'm just not fluent in speaking that language. But this consultant was explaining to a person that appeared to be a potential client. And this was uploaded by the consultant himself on his Instagram account, saying that instead of going as a student, you can go as a visitor. You can get a visitor visa. Maybe I'm using common parlance here. Maybe the technical term is different. But he was saying that you can get a visitor visa, and then once you are there, you can obtain a work permit. Now, to be clear, he doesn't say Canada in this video, but I assume it pertains to Canada because this consultant usually posts about how to go to Canada and how he can help people go to Canada. So that is, that's an interesting angle here because if the person who wants to come to Canada uh, does not obtain a study permit, then they save on all the tuition fees that they have to pay, and we know that those are pretty high fees, north of $20,000, generally three times what the domestic student pays, and they save on that. Uh, in any case, for the majority of them, the objective is to obtain permanent residency, and the second objective is to obtain a job. I have discussed that at length earlier. I'm not going to repeat that entire discussion here. But generally speaking, in a broad outline, uh, kids from families of modest financial means are coming here, so they are under compulsion, more or less, to start working as soon as they arrive. So instead of paying $20,000 or $30,000 to the college and then working here uh, while being a student on paper at least, instead of that, they can straight away come here on a visit visa and then get a work permit. So that saves them the expense of tuition to the college. And on the other side, the people who are selling them the work permits, the labor market impact assessment, they know that this person now has that much spare room to pay for the LMIA. So it is likely that the prices of LMIAs are going up. I mean, I'll have to dig into this. I haven't come across any such information so far, but it is a likely outcome because the seller knows that the buyer has a little bit of more money at their disposal now. Secondly, I came across a news item in the Times of India where a 24-year-old man was apprehended by the security personnel there because he was impersonating a 67-year-old man and trying to board a flight to Canada. He had dyed his hair and beard white. He was wearing glasses, and the passport that he presented was that of a 67-year-old man. But then the security personnel got suspicious because they, visually they felt that this person is much younger than he is trying to appear. So then he was interrogated, and then he confessed that this was a fake passport, or at least not his passport. Now I'm assuming here, because he was trying to board a flight to Canada, that passport, the wrong one, must have had a Canadian visa on it. Otherwise, one would not stand a chance of boarding a flight. So maybe he got a genuine passport of someone else, and I'm not insinuating that that other person gave it willingly. We don't know. But maybe there was a real Canadian passport, I mean, Canadian visa on that passport, and then he tried to board, uh, claiming to be that person. Details are as yet unclear. This was just the initial report from last night in India. So I saw it on Times of India. So these are the different ways in which a lot of people who are determined to come to Canada will adopt. So, reducing the number of international students is only going to be a part of the solution, not the entire solution. In fact, when the reduced numbers were announced, I was asked by someone as to what I thought about it. And my first reaction was that their heart is not in it. See, you look at it this way. Uh, Minister Miller is openly saying that in order to reduce the population of non-permanent residents in Canada, he is willing to legalize the stay, or in Canada, of people who have overstayed their visa. So that is, I mean, and he even said that the all the difficulties are already baked in, so it's not like it's going to create any additional difficulties. But the difficulties as they exist now are too much to bear for millions of Canadians, which he is losing sight of. So my first reaction, which was that their heart is not in it, seems to be corroborated here by the way they are going about it. I think instead of playing this whack-a-mole, they need better border security, border controls, and a very no nonsense policy that if you are here on a non-permanent residency permit, then once that duration is over, you need to go, and if you don't go, we will make sure that you leave Canada. There is going to be that is the only effective deterrent that you will be left with. Other than that, I think they are just playing whack-a-mole and hoping that they can, first of all, uh, project an image of addressing the problem while not angering the people who are benefiting from the problem. So that's the view that I thought I should share with you today. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. Until we meet again, goodbye and be well.